What is up, everyone? It's Gage here. Welcome to Buck Dat. And today I'm joined by my co-host, Ken Filler. And today we're going to be talking about some Buccaneers news. This one I had to dig up because, as you guys know, it's basically articles are rewritten, everything like that. Like, oh, it's Baker Mayfield. Is he going to bring the Bucs to playoffs? All that kind of shit. So we're going to be talking about some things that have been happening, and that is Rodrigo blankenship signs with the Bucs, aka Bubbles. I'm really excited about him joining. He joins his teammate Cameron Camarda, and even they're like, "Hey, the dogs are back." They said that on Twitter, Instagram, and I'm really excited. Even though it's special teams, that's some chemistry that team already has, and I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be an upgrade from Ryan Suckup.
Oh, he'll definitely be an upgrade, and even without having the competition in camp, as someone that really pays close attention to what goes on with the Buccaneers and looks at the players and evaluates them, as they come into training camp, I think Blankenship's already unofficially won the job. I mean, yeah, they signed the kicker in the offseason, but he was like the only one available. And they had to do something because Suckup was not very good last season in some big spots. So they signed a kicker and say, yeah, we'll see what happens. Now Blankenship's available, and he has a resume, and in big spots, I have no qualms whatsoever that he'll come through with the big kick and help the Bucs win some games. So I'm all on board with the signing, and I think come September 10th he'll have the place kicker job.
I 100% agree. Honestly, as you guys know, I tweeted this a couple of times. I'm like, Chase McLaughlin, there's like, the guy has a big leg, but he's not accurate. Like, his accuracy is pretty bad, actually, if you really look at it. It's below average. And, I was like, guys, there has to be some competition. And when Jake Variety got cut, I was like, fuck. Like, what the hell are we doing? There's no way we're giving Chase McLaughlin the job right off the gate, not even fighting for it. So I was like, man, there has to be another option, a kicker. The only one was Robbie Goldie, but he probably was out of price range, or the Bucs would have went after him. Either that, and he's older. He's like 37. So the Bucs are probably looking for someone a little bit younger and more affordable. Yes. And Rodrigo Blankenship, he's a perfect guy, has a good resume. Did get injured last year, so he didn't play as well. But he had surgery in January, and he's all healed up and ready to go. So I'm really excited. And Rodrigo, I love his personality. You guys are gonna love his personality. He's a guy you want on your team. Like, he's a guy that comes in clutch when it's needed.
Yeah, and the signing of Blankenship also kind of fits into the overall Buccaneer philosophy this offseason and with their draft. They wanted to get younger. They were one of the oldest teams in the league last season. So they wanted to get younger. They accomplished that. They wanted to get, more athletic. They accomplished that with a lot of the guys they drafted and some of the guys they picked up as unrestricted free agents. So Blankenship fits their overall philosophy that they've had this offseason. Let's get younger and let's get a bit more athletic. And, he's going to fit right in, and I'm confident he'll do a great job for this Bucs team.
Oh, 100%. And yeah, like the Buccaneers want to get younger, and they have done that. The athleticism, you've seen it. The Buccaneers always wanted that, like people that can play in multiple positions if needed, and that's why they drafted people like our new linebacker from Pitt, Seneca, or I'm trying to think his name. It's I think they call it. It's like from a drink or something. Yeah, and all the guys they drafted. Yada, all those guys, they're very athletic and they can play multiple positions if needed. So that's what the Bucs are looking for, and that's a great strategy in my opinion. And now we're going to get into something interesting that everyone's been talking about: Mike Evans' contract, and they're talking right now. The Bucs and Mike Evans are talking right now, and Mike Evans, the Galilea, his yearly event, he mentioned that he only wants to play like 4 to 5 more years. So he's not looking to play too long at the Bucs. They could lock him down for 4 more years and let him play his contract. And like every Buccaneers fans wants him to retire as a Buck.
Yeah, it would be an absolute disgrace if Mike Evans were to ever wear any other colored uniform except the Buccaneer colors in his NFL career. I mean, when you think Mike Evans, you think of Buccaneers football. And he needs to retire a Buccaneer. He needs to stay with the Bucs. They're talking about maybe $20 to $25 million a season for Mike Evans. That's just the rumor mill. That's nothing definite. Those are the numbers, being floated around. But throughout his career, I think probably because he played in Tampa, Mike Evans has probably been one of the most disrespected and dissed wide receivers in the NFL. You could have some chump from a Division III school get drafted by the New York Jets, and because Aaron Rodgers is going to be his quarterback, they think that this new wide receiver, is going to be the second coming of Jerry Rice, and all of a sudden, a lot of these NFL pundits have him as number 1, 2, 3 on their best wide receivers in the NFL. That's just so nauseating to me. I get so disgusted, reading that and seeing that and, hearing about it. Mike Evans, as we talked about blankenship, he has a resume. He has proven every year in the NFL that if he is not the best, he is definitely in the top 3 wide receivers in the NFL. Okay. Look at his production. Who else in their first, years of their NFL career has had 1,000 yards every year receiving? Okay. There's been no one. Mike Evans is, I believe, is the new record holder for that. Okay. Randy Moss was close. Jerry Rice was close. And Evans has missed some games too. It's not like he's been 100% healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, seasons he's had to struggle to get that 1,000 yards. So, I say absolutely, let's sign Mike Evans yesterday, rather than today. Let's get him under contract. Let's make sure that, he retires a Buck. The other thing too with Mike Evans is, you can't underestimate what he brings to the team in a leadership role. Just his presence in the locker room, the work that, he'll put in with the younger wide receivers, just talking with them, going over film, watching the practices. It's almost like having a second coach on the field. And that is something you just can't put a price on. So I am all in on, Mike Evans signing that new contract. Whatever they want to pay him, it's worth it. Let's just get the checkbook out and make it happen.
And like you said, he has a resume, and Mike Evans proved it year in, year out, every year. And that's not, and everyone says, "Oh, the Bucs are pass heavy. He's barely hit 1,000 yards. All this shit." And I'm like, guys, do you not realize what quarterbacks he's had? It wasn't just Whitson his whole career. He had Josh McCown. Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick. He was actually all right quarterback, but he didn't always play the greatest. And Jameis Winston, a guy that could play great and play fucking horrible at the same time. And he did every year. And let me tell you guys, it's like you're getting hit every time as a player. Mike Evans, there's a lot of players by his age that tore ACL or something like that. He's gotten dinged up, but he's never got that injured. And he's done it every year. To me, he's a top 10 player, top 10 receiver, maybe top five. He might not have the athleticism like the other receivers have, but he's top 10. He's proven every year with a team that, let's be honest, hasn't really been that good before Tom Brady. So Mike Evans deserves way more credit than he deserved way more credit than people have given him. And people that say Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer, they're out of their minds. Dude has a ring and has 9,000 yards in 9 seasons. If that doesn't say Hall of Famer, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I agree. You can go down the list of players that people talk about being Hall of Famers, and they've played on really poor teams, throughout their career. Look at J.J. Watt. He played on some horrible Houston teams. Horrible. Ended his career in Arizona. Yeah, they made the playoffs a couple of years or a time or two. But, a lot of people, they want to put playoffs as the most important accomplishment for induction, into the Hall of Fame. Well, what did he win? How much did he change the defense? Was he able to lift the defense up to play at a higher level? Or if it's an offensive player, were they able to, lift the offense up and, will the offense to win some games that maybe they shouldn't have won? J.J. Watt, he's a Hall of Famer. Absolutely. He balled at his position. There's no reason he won't be in the Hall of Fame. Doesn't matter really what kind of teams he played on. And Mike Evans is the same way. He's been a productive player. He's been a leader. He has a Super Bowl ring, and he definitely is a Hall of Fame caliber player.
And I think Mike Evans gets so disvalued because of the team he's on. The Buccaneers, I don't know why. Like, everyone's like, oh, the Buccaneers this, Buccaneers that. It's like, guys, we won a Super Bowl. It wasn't just because of Tom. If you look at that Super Bowl, what won that game? It was the defense. Yeah. Because you got to remember, like, Patrick Mahomes is now the best player in the league. And that defense shut him down. Todd Bowles was he was ahead of that. Yeah. And I just think Tom Brady, he gave more than we all think. He contributed majorly. But don't forget that defense. Don't forget the overall team. Tom couldn't have done it without his own. He couldn't go to the fucking Detroit Lions and win Super Bowl. He had to go to the right team, a good roster, and a great head coach. And I think that's why I think this team gets this value, because Tom Brady's not on this team anymore. So I think Mike Evans is going to have to prove people wrong. He has been every year, so this is just another year for him.
Yes, and this year I think he will make Baker Mayfield a better quarterback than what we've seen from Baker the last couple of years, and he'll make that wide receiver room better because he's a leader. That's what he does. He makes the people around him and his teammates better. So, let's get Mike Evans signed.
And one thing that I found, this is an interesting comment by former Buccaneers safety and current Jets player Jordan Whitehead. He says Aaron Rodgers signed the Jets is very similar to Tom Brady signed the Bucs. Now, that is a very bold and surprising statement, and I'm going to tell you why. Tom Brady obviously has way more rings than Aaron Rodgers, so maybe a little bit more than him. And Aaron Rodgers, he's a great player. But Tom Brady was something different. Tom Brady was he was legendary. Aaron Rodgers, I think he'll do really good with the Jets. I'm cheering for him, but that's a wild statement. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a good player, but comparing him to Tom Brady, that's really crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are wrong with that statement. Now let's talk about the few things that are right with that statement. Okay, Aaron Rodgers is a big name. So Aaron Rodgers is one of the marquee quarterbacks of the NFL. So any place he goes, he's going to raise the interest level. The ticket sales are going to increase. There's going to be a huge buzz around that team, just like there was Tom Brady coming to Tampa. So from that aspect, the signings were a little bit similar. Tom Brady to Tampa, Aaron Rodgers with the Jets to create that buzz. However, Aaron Rodgers, I mean, in my opinion, he can't even carry Tom Brady's jockstrap. I mean, let's just talk about the accolades. Okay, you mentioned one right up a few minutes ago, the championships. Okay, Aaron Rodgers has one, and Tom Brady has what, 8? Tom Brady has 8 rings, 7 rings, 8 rings.
I think it's 10 because he's been in 10 Super Bowls. So.
Let's talk about one of the intangibles. Let's talk about leadership. Okay. Tom Brady gets in the trenches. Okay. You remember the 2020 year. It was a COVID year. There was no workouts, no mini camps, no training camp really to speak of, no preseason games. Yet Tom Brady took the offense and was working out at high school fields in Tampa. Try to get that timing down with his offensive players, with his receivers, get to personally know his teammates. Never heard about Aaron Rodgers doing that. Okay. Look what happens when you're in a tough spot in a game. A wide receiver drops a pass or Rodgers throws a pick. He's off on the bench, sitting by himself, pouting. Okay. He's not rallying the troops. He's not talking to his offensive linemen. He's not chatting up the wide receivers. He's not encouraging them. He's not coaching them. He's basically just sitting there, in his own little world, pouting. That's not a leader. Never saw Tom Brady do that. We saw emotion from Tom Brady, and that's a good thing. We saw him get pissed off about things that happened during the game and things they obviously had practiced during the week and weren't able or couldn't execute on game day. Okay. I like that emotion. I like that fire. What I don't like is, pointing the finger at everybody else. Oh, it's your fault. You did that. I don't want to talk to you. I'm going to go off into my own little corner of the bench here and sit down and pout. That's Aaron Rodgers. Okay. To me, Aaron Rodgers, not a leader. And, that's why Green Bay only has one Super Bowl. If he was more of a leader and was willing to put in the work during the offseason with his offense and his new wide receivers, Green Bay may have had another Super Bowl or two. You don't know. But, yeah, there's really no comparison. Jordan Whitehead can, say whatever he wants to say. But, the facts are the facts. They speak for themselves. And Aaron Rodgers, will never be confused with Tom Brady.
Yeah, I agree with most of that. Like the Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady comparison is just not very comparable. Now, Aaron Rodgers has been not a very good leader the past, honestly, like most of his career. He's been a great player. He's played phenomenal. Like his Hail Mary is legendary. Now, I will say, I would say the past season or two, since everyone made jokes like, oh, his Alaska trip, all that. And honestly, I respect that, because football, there's always a fear of like losing your ego or losing that fire inside you. Like, oh man, what if I don't even want to play anymore? And I respect the Aaron Rodgers journey with that. And I've seen a different Aaron Rodgers this past season. Everyone's like, oh, he sucked because he took that. Now I see someone that let go that ego, like a lot of players have. We all have them like that. Like, oh man, I'm the best. I'm the fucking man. Aaron Rodgers let that go. And this year I've seen a little different Aaron Rodgers. Now it will remain to be seen this year with the Jets. But I think, honestly, in my opinion, he's going to bring the Jets are going to be a really good team this year. And that's and that's my opinion on it. And I think how people did the whole thing. Honestly, my faults are like, dude, this is kind of messed up. Like you're judging someone off something they're doing. Something they believe in. You're making fun of that. ESPN made fun of it. Good Morning Football. I'm not sure what Good Morning Football did, but a lot of the football networks did. They had like skits. I was like, dude, you not see this as like bullying someone? Just because they have more money or a player doesn't mean that it's not bullying. It's. And I don't think anyone should be doing that, regardless who it is, because that's just bad energy, and I just never agreed with that. But yeah, guys, that's my faults on that. And Ken, you got anything you want to say?
Well, not really. I mean, my opinion on Aaron Rodgers is, it is what it is. Now,
Yeah.
I think he will improve the Jets. I think the Jets are going to be a much improved team, and I think they will probably challenge Miami for second place in that division. I don't see any one of those teams beating out Buffalo, for the division title. But I could see Miami and the Jets battling it out for second place and possibly a wild card spot. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is a very good quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, but that was not what we were talking about. We were talking about Rodgers versus Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Jordan Whitehead making that comment, and there's just no way that Aaron Rodgers is even close to Tom Brady in
No.
career accomplishments, in his leadership on the field, in the way he coaches his teammates, in his work ethic. It's not even close.
Yeah, it's a big comparison, a very bold one. Tom Brady has he's the greatest quarterback of all time. Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback, but he won't be known as one of the greatest
Right.
because he just hasn't done it. You know, he's had good teams. You know, he just hasn't really done. He hasn't reached that level. Now he always falls short, and I think that was because of leadership. Sometimes you gotta have that dog in you, that fucking leader that comes out. And Aaron Rodgers, I think after that contract and after winning that Super Bowl, I think he lost that. You know, because maybe in the beginning he was hungry and he was like, "Man, I want to prove myself," because everyone doubted me. The Packers gave me a chance in the draft, and he lost at the Super Bowl. I think his ego got very high, and that's when he lost his leadership. But there's many teammates. Greg Jennings had problems with Aaron Rodgers, so that says more than enough. Now recently, it's been a lot different since he let go of his ego. But yeah, I think the Jets are going to be a good team. But Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers, no question who's the winner in that one.
Right.
Tom Brady every time.
Yeah, 100%.
But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, and I hope you bucked that.